Hey guys, it's Teddy here from Rotary Creations, and so what you're watching right now is a video of how to make a wooden ring, but this is just a voiceover, so that way you don't have to watch the full 30-minute video. So keep things short. Pretty much what I just did is I just used my hole saw for my drill and cut out the circle template that we're going to use for making the ring. Now what I'm doing is closing down my vise, so that way I can then put the ring template into it. And I'm also taking off just a little bit of the burrs on the edges just to have them out of the way. But soon I will have it into my vise, so that way I can then take a small hacksaw and I can then make a mark in the middle. So that way I can cut it in half, because 1x board is too thick to make a ring out of. So you then have to cut it in half. So that way when you're wearing it, it's not big and clunky and in the way. So I'm just going to cut it a little bit and make a small notch in it. And then I take it out and I look at it a little bit more and I make the notch a little bit deeper. So that way I'm just for sure that's going to cut well. So now I moved on to using my hacksaw blade, and what happened is after I cut that ring out, it already broke. So then I had problems with that. So then I just moved on and cut another out. Right here you'll see me sanding down the outer rim of it. If you need some more specification on that, you can go watch my first video of making a wooden ring. It's 30 minutes long, but it is a slower video and you can watch it all the way through. So right now I'm just smoothing everything down. You might see me using that little thing on the sanding drum. That's just a bristle brush because the sanding drum was getting full of fine sand dust, so I had to clean it out a little bit here and there, so that way it keep working very efficiently. And I also got a little sanding block sponge right there to kind of help me smooth some of the stuff out, get it a little bit more level. I'm making this ring for my friend's dad, and so I was doing a few different things with it, and he's also got larger hands than me, so I had to do quite a few different things to make it bigger, but pretty much everything's still the same, and I also wanted to try some new stuff. So, but other than that, everything went well, except out of the first template you can see the pieces there. I didn't notice until after it was cut, that piece of wood right after it was cut got a split in it, and then both of the little templates just broke apart, which is fine. It happens, and it's also out of a board that doesn't cost any money, so you can just cut another out, cut that in half, and then be on to sanding in just a matter of 2 or 3 minutes. So it wasn't any big deal. So what I did run into is I did hit a few knots. That's why it took me so long to sand this down, as you will notice, and it really took a lot of time. All in all, this probably took me an hour and a half, but it's just because, I mean, I have a poor choice of wood, but if you go out and buy good, nice wood, you won't have these problems, and you can make these in no time. But, you know, don't rush on too much. Take your time, because you're going to find out that when you take your time, you're going to make a much nicer wooden ring. You can't just throw them out every 5 minutes. They're not super duper easy, but, you know, if you go slow and take care of it, you're not going to have the problems like I run into sometimes. I try to make mine quick because I'm trying to upload many videos up to YouTube. But for the times I can't be too quick, my rings come out a lot better than what they even do when I record for this sometimes. So let's see here. Okay, so now I'm just positioning my camera. It was messed up. So Now I'm on to staining the ring. So I already smoothed everything out. I also used 400 grit sandpaper on it to prepare it for the stain. They tell you to use high grit sandpaper so that way the stain is able to purposely penetrate. And right now I'm looking for my little fishing hook. What I do with my wooden rings is I put them on a nice big fishing hook. I just stick it right into the inside middle of the wood so that way I don't have any problems holding it or anything. I do hold it with my hands, but then I put it on the fishing hook to dry. And you can't see it because it's out of the shot. I realized that pretty much I'm just using a microfiber cloth to apply the wood stain. I don't find the sense in buying expensive applying cloths when, you know, these are just small little projects. You know, it's not something that you're gonna see in your house or something like that. So right now you'll see what I'm doing is sanding the inside edges and also the outside edges. And what this does is it really contrasts the color difference. And as you can see it a little bit, it just makes kind of the ring have a cool rustic look. I really like how it looks after I do this. That's what I did with my first one, and it came out awesome. And I think you'll see that it adds a little bit of character to the ring, kind of. And it just makes it look really, really nice because you kind of separated the colors and stuff like that. So if you do that, it's going to look really, really cool. You can see I'm dabbing it off of the microfiber cloth so that way I can get some of the sawdust off of it. And so now I'm applying the polyacrylic. And polyacrylics for coating wood to make it kind of weatherproof. Great thing about this though is it makes the wood really, really strong. So it's off camera, but I'm just applying it with another piece of microfiber cloth. And then I get my fishing hook and stick in it. And then I'm allowing it to dry. And I will then take another piece of a little bit of microfiber cloth, because once you apply this stuff, it will drain down to the bottom. So you want to take a little piece of something like a paper towel and soak up a bunch of the little excess in the bottom. Otherwise, it'll make a lump in it. Or, oh wait, I got too far ahead of myself. But anyways, yeah, so just applying the polyacrylic, really good stuff. I suggest using it. And then after you use your ring for a few days, you will notice that the polyacrylic is kind of sticky, but after you use it for a few days and weeks, it then becomes a little bit more dull and it's not very sticky to you at all. So as you can see, it looks kind of milky and kind of bluish, and that's just because of how it dries. It goes on milky and then it dries clear. And so as you can see, I dabbed up a little bit, but pretty much use polyacrylic and wood stain and your wood rings will come out looking great. So yeah, that's it.